my goodness. I am so sorry. A timer went off. Oh, I loved that first little message. So here's part 2. It's going to be long. It's going to be in depth. It's not going to cut off like that. So yeah, your person is feeling like they've missed out on a chance for deep, meaningful intimacy, and then lifed. And they're really seeing that they could have been more all in the past and could have set more of a foundation. And now they're so distracted because all they want is you. Oh, what would they say? This is the truth. Ace of Swords. So they're seeing the light. Viewer, your person is seeing the light. All right, what can we see for these DMs? On the conscious mind about you. Yeah, again, this message of no other nookie gonna do it. No other nookie gonna cut it. So justice and this player, you're making this player energy crave just you, viewer. Like your self-love, your standards, your quality. And they're really seeing that if they can't have you, or they're not more closely tied with you, nothing else is really going to cut it. They can't just fill in the blank with something else. They're not going to find you anywhere. So trust. Right now, they're really having to lean into cosmic trust, the big picture, that if they feel a connection like this, it's because it's legitimate. It's not because it's going to be ripped away. This is the kind of thing that's going to cause them to have to fight for it, to actually do what it takes. They're not going to find a connection like this somewhere else. So they're giving themselves this reality check right now. And I'm a very jealous person in the inverse. So their insecurities may have caused them to leave you before you left them, may have caused them to act too cool for school, to try and make you think they were more of a player or had more options or were more suave than they actually felt they were, so that you would think they were the catch, like reverse psychology kind of thing. Insecurity does some weird things, even if it's not conscious. There was something going on here where even in the inverse like this, they may not have realized that their insecurities were the root, their trust issues were the root for them pushing back on your connection, where they really did want to go more deeply into it and feel that comfort, but it's almost like they couldn't let themselves feel that because they thought it would be taken away. So they might have felt that you would reject them, or their lives would have been in a place where they didn't feel like long-term was available yet. It's really causing some deep soul searching right now, them not having access to you on the depth or the level that they would like. What can we see for how are they feeling on the heart space about the connections? Wow, 4 of Wands and 10 of Pentacles, like this is the be all end all. Like they see the spiritual union and the physical abundance available with you. On the heart space, they just know it. And forgiveness. I'm hearing, can you ever forgive me? They're wondering if you can forgive them. Oh, my ear's tingling. So that might mean my person is thinking that. Or that your people are thinking of you right now that way. What would they say? Definitely. This is a tower moment for them. I just posted a super quickie that talks about a tower moment for everybody. So things are going to change quite quickly when these masculines understand what they're missing out on here. I'm seeing them really understanding how they've been shortchanging, sabotaging, missing out on these connections because they've been pushing back. And for why? Why? They're really asking themselves why. What is on the heart space? King of Cups and the High Priestess. They feel like you are the High Priestess. Again, this ironic truth coming in, because the King of Cups is somebody who is emotionally aware enough to see High Priestess energy in somebody else. That fact alone, if you are a DM watching this, that fact alone should tell you that you're not beneath this divine feminine. That if you've got eyes to see, ears to hear that about your feminine, that is a very likely sign that you are their person, that you don't have to worry, because not everybody recognizes that when it's right in front of their eyes. And if you're able to actually see that, stop telling yourselves, masculines, that this person isn't for you, that they're too good for you, that they're on another level from you. Stop pushing away the gift that God wants to give you through this connection. Stop self-deprivating. These masculines have been self-deprivating. And release. Okay, so these masculines are definitely sexually fantasizing about their counterpart. But that is not going to cut it. They want the real flesh and bones. What would they say? Wand, yeah, in the upright. There's that Ace of Wands that we got in the inverse about the other options, the other directions that they've headed in. This is the one they want to head in. What can we see for what they want to manifest? Spiritual guidance with the High Priestess and the upright. So they're really coming to terms with the fact that they can see that you are a High Priestess, and the divine is squawking at them like this raven. This is your High Priestess. So masculines, if you're watching this, it's a high likelihood that the person you have in your heart and being given signs about is your High Priestess, divine feminine. This is the key. Stop fighting it, masculines. Goodness me. What is the emotion? Relaxation in the inverse. You can't rest until you lean into this, until you come forward, until you investigate, until you explore, until you melt into this feminine, masculine. So feminines, your masculines are very much starting to feel a great deal of agitation and remorse and frustration at the things that they've got going on in their lives that might be some priorities. They're starting to question if those priorities really truly do take more, are more important than you, because they are not happy. They can't stop thinking about you. They can't focus elsewhere. What would they say to you? I just wish things were different. Duh. So masculines are wishing things are different. Well, they've been making their big, I heard big boy, big girl pants, choices. And they're not so happy with the choices they're making. So even if whatever they're investing into right now seems like the 3D appropriate thing, the accepted, the people-pleasing thing, the normal thing to do in their circumstances, they are beginning to see that they wish things were different, which always leads to portals, possibilities, and options. That always leads to questioning, could they be different? Is it this way because it's best? Is there another creative way to have a win-win? These masculines are starting to realize they are going through the motions and it doesn't feel well with their soul. That's a really important statement. Okay, what can we see for their actions? Grace, tact, timing. I just heard, I know myself, I'm stubborn AF. So these masculines are realizing that they have been looking like they've had it all under control, but they have been going through the motions. They have been head over heart. They've been doing the things they thought were the right things, the expected things. And their paradigms are shifting slowly but surely, and they had to go through everything that they've been going through in order to actually see the light, in order to actually step into the maturity that would allow them to, learn the tools to break the rules. They have tried the ways of the world, and they're starting to see how that is not working for them and the matters of their heart, the matters of love, the matters of their soul. The ways of the world are not sitting well with these masculine souls. Love in the inverse, because they don't have love. They don't have love. They are giving love out into the world. But is it actually appropriate giving? They may be finding that they're giving to all the wrong things, or giving with a different idea. So when we give, and expect to get the dessert last. You know, we save the dessert for last, or we give, put ourselves last. We don't do what we need. We deplete ourselves, and it creates resentment and frustration. And these masculines are realizing there's got to be a different way. I just heard, if only we had teamed up on this together, how much differently that would feel. So whatever the masculines are going through right now, they're realizing they didn't have to go through it alone. And if they really included you in the process, they would also not be missing out on love. What would they say to you? Sex with you in the inverse. So they are missing out on the intimacy, but that is just the tip of the iceberg, because they're missing out also on love. So they're really realizing that they tried to keep you in the just for sex bucket, and it was never about that. Oh my goodness. So they have truly had to find themselves in the situation that they are in right now so that they could come to terms with the fact that this is the love of a lifetime. Wow, I just heard that. What is the biggest challenge? 1111. The fact that they have been withholding communication because of their unhealed, their imbalances. So that's the biggest challenge, that they have not communicated. They have not brought you into their world, divine feminines. They have not included you in ways that do not contradict love. They have just pushed you out nearly and completely here, and they're seeing it's because of their imbalances. Stillness, yeah, so they thought it would be easier, that you were low-hanging fruit, that they would push you away and it would bring peace to their lives in the midst of a storm. It hasn't. It's created a whole different tsunami in their heart. Wow. I saw that in maybe it's right here, yeah, in the moon card that was in the super quickie today, this tsunami in the heart. Wow. What would they say to you? Yeah, nah, they're indecision. They are really looking at their indecision about you. 1212, that's a foundational number. And they are like, why did I think that there was even a choice here? What is the solution to this? Kindness, reciprocity, engaging where they can, actually interacting in the material realm. That can be text messages and things, but it can also be meeting up in physical. Like, they need to connect with you in simple, genuine, reciprocal ways. They can't keep it in the rainy day bucket. Truth in the inverse. So this has been the truth they've been denying. I'm getting denial with this card, truth in the reverse. They have been denying. So masculines, your pride, your stubborn pride is going to have to be put down, and you're going to have to admit to yourself that you have not needed to hedge your feminine out like this. You simply have not needed to keep them at bay. Not now. So maybe in the past that served a very righteous, divine purpose. But at this time, there are big reality checks that you need to be letting your feminine in. Wrongful advice. You've got to say no to these wrongful advices that you've been living your life by. So whether that's you giving yourself the wrong message head over heart, or whether you have been, or both, listening to people who have said love can wait, you've got to focus on XYZ, you can't be thinking about commitment at this time. Anybody who has told you, masculines, that what you're doing is noble, and you in your heart know it goes against love and what your soul would want, wrongful advice. Wake up call, masculines. What is the direction in the near future? Oh, the Ace of Wands and this strength. Like, this really is wrangling the masculines into compliance with their heart. Really, really frustrated energy, but they're going to have to admit that they only want you, desire you, that you are the remedy to what ails them, feminines. And this is a battle of ego here. So they were in a lot of devil energies, and the strength card is here on the table, but it's not fully in this masterful position. So they are now in the process of coming to terms with the fact that they have chosen wrongly. At least at this stage, they don't need to choose as they have historically. They can change it up right now, and have success. So they are coming to the awareness that they can come towards you and that they will have success and that it's available here. I meant what I said. That's going to resonate for different purposes. I'm getting primarily two messages. One, that in the past it was relevant to say what they said, and at the time they meant it, but now they're seeing things differently. And for those who your masculine has told you you're the best one, they love you, that they're coming back for you, any of those things, they also meant that. So these masculines are really anchoring into the truth, the reality of your connection. But right now they feel like they're choosing something that's not genuine to them, and there's got to be a better way. Okay, many blessings. Godspeed, masculines. Bye for now.